Good morning and welcome to Atlantic Sunday. Atlantic Sunday is a syndicated live program of the network featuring chit-chatting and conversation on special interest topics, news, events and stories through correspondence reports, experts' opinion and stakeholders' analysis. Today we'll be looking at these stories. Imo State, NSCDC uncovers baby factory, rescues 5 pregnant women. In Imo State, health workers threaten to embark on indefinite strike. Edo State, school expels students in viral bullying video. Hold states, local governments accountable, Tinubu tells media. You are misleading Nigerians, APC slams ADC security. And in security defense, ministry urges timely pension payments. Still on insecurity, stammer to confront Tinubu over Christian killings. We're open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on our Atn socials, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1, and on X at Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We're going for a short commercial break. When I return, I will introduce my guest for today. Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps in Imo State says it has one Tochukwu Ogaranya, 52, alongside 5 pregnant women aged between 25 and 33 in its custody for alleged child trafficking. The command also said that it rescued 5 newborn babies from the suspects. The NSCDC commandant in Imo, Mr. Basil Igweboise, said this in Owerri on Saturday while briefing newsmen on the recent exploits by the command. Igweboise said that the suspects, including an alleged accomplice, one Godwin Inamdi, 47, were caught at an orphanage where they were carrying out their illicit activities. According to him, on March 14th, one of his officers saw a pregnant teenager running away from the orphanage at the World Bank area of Owerri, the Imo capital state. Child trafficking, teen exploitation. I mean, I think this is not the first time we've actually discussed such issues on this program. Is it, Sami?
No, I think we've touched on something of this nature likely in a period to this time.
Yeah, and in as much as I'm happy that the security agencies and police are doing, what more can be done to ensure that our youth are protected? Because from the story, the reason or how they were able to arrest these accomplices was because a pregnant teenage girl was run away from an orphanage that is meant to be a safe haven for these vulnerable children, has become a place of exploitation. So what's more can be done about this situation?
Well, one of the issues we are having in the contemporary society is the whole mind your business approach. Everybody these days wants to mind his or her business. Back then, during a while ago rather, we had this communal approach to child grooming while growing up. There's a statement that goes, I don't know if you heard it, but it takes a community to raise a child, right? And as such, you can see that the grooming of a child, training of a child is the business of every reasonable member of a society. But today, things have changed. Everybody wants to mind their business. Everybody wants to, close their eyes to the happenings around them. Everybody wants to just, focus on themselves. And I think that was one of the issues that has created an enabling environment for things like this to thrive. These places, these buildings where these children are being exploited, where the teenage girls are being, used as a conduit for the production of babies. They're not in the hills, they're not in the valleys. Sometimes they are within the buildings, are within the security operatives, and the security operatives should check them up, from time to time. You'll see that most of these things will be curtailed, and it will be a thing of the past. You understand me? So that's one of the approaches I think that is affecting the conduct of, our behavioral pattern in this contemporary society, which is the whole mind your business approach. It's none of my business. It's not my. At first, it does not affect me, my family member, or my friend. It doesn't concern me, and I think that is wrong. We as Nigerians should be able to look out for indicators of child abuse as well as other criminal activities and report them to the necessary security operatives.
Okay, so from what I'm getting, our lack of communal effort is what has gotten us to this point. But other than that,
it's a contributing factor.
It's a contributing factor. Okay, how about the orphanages that also exploit these children? Because from this story, this orphanage is actually registered and licensed. It's registered and licensed. So which means that there is no oversight. There's nobody looking into the operations of the orphanages. As soon as they are granted the license, that is it. What can the institutions do, the oversights do to ensure that these orphanages are doing what they are meant to do, which is protecting, catering, and these vulnerable children?
Well, I think there needs to be an increased surveillance, on orphanage homes. I think there needs to be an increased surveillance. The last time that we talked about this issue, I mentioned it, and I mention it again. There needs to be an increased surveillance on orphanage homes, as well as other homes that are meant for the vulnerable, including those of them that are meant for the elderly, the home of the elderly. There needs to be increased surveillance.
All right. We're used to a reactive way of dealing with things here in Nigeria. One of the things that, due to the number of incidents that has been reported or been noted, that will be more proactive when it comes to this. We know there are baby-making factories in Nigeria. What is stopping the institutions from carrying out extinct operations to ensure that these people are caught? And that, do we need to wait until maybe a child is running away, or a child loses their life, or somebody makes a report? Because from the police statements, they are asking the public to always report suspicious activities. Other than relying on the public to report these activities, what can our security agencies also do to ensure that these things are, we cannot overall eradicate crimes in society, but there's a way we can do it to ensure that we bring it down to the very barest minimum.
Well, Donna, like I said before, and like I always say, crime is local. It takes cooperation from stakeholders, within the proximity of the criminal activities taking place, in conjunction or collaborating with the security operatives for crime to actually be curtailed. Anybody that will tell you that they will go into somewhere and cop crime without the input or support of the locals is telling you a lie, right? Crime is local, and no matter how we would shift the focus to the security, the support of Nigerians, they need the activities the area of Nigerian security mechanism and instinct operations. Anyway, I have seen, especially when it comes to making food and exploitation activities happening in orphanages, I have seen police, not just any police, the River State carry out operations to curtail or to catch the perpetrators of these activities. I've seen police close up. In fact, there was a few years ago, you can look it up. The court on warfare, under warfare acts, I think Cecilia did about. The police carried out the distinct operation, and captured, the people that were committing such a heinous crime in that area. So while the police are doing, or what the security operatives will do what they can, to ensure that, they curb down issues like this, they still need the support of local actors. And I can tell you that local surveillance is the best surveillance that you can carry out anywhere. Believe you me. And that's why if you look at the Western world, if there's a problem, if there's a criminal activity, the crime has taken place, you see that the first thing that the police does is to interview people that stay within that locality. You understand? Put out feelers, shake the bushes, in a bid to get for information that will lead to the arrest of whoever committed the crime. So you can see that even societies that are very, very much advanced still rely on local surveillance to be able to solve criminal activities, right? So no matter how we want to twist it, no matter the sophisticated technology and weapon, we still need the support of local stakeholders to be able to curb crime to the bare minimum. And that's why I've always advocated for things like indigenous security management to be included in our security framework. And I've also advocated for things like the state police to be passed into law as soon as possible. I think the other day I saw that the IG of police has created a committee to look into the whole state police thing. So I think that we are making significant progress, and in the nearest future, the government of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu will be able to enact fully the state police, which in turn will help to curb down crime to the barest minimum.
All right, let's move on quickly to Imo State, or still on Imo State. The Imo State health workers under the joint health sector unions and the Assembly of Healthcare Professionals Associations are set to shut down the health sector with an indefinite strike due to alleged negligence of their welfare under Hope Uzodinme's administration. The union hinted that several negotiations between the workers and the state government failed to yield positive results. The decision of the workers to shut down the health sector was made public in a press statement jointly signed by its state chairman, Comrade Uche Okafor, and others. The union maintained that the alleged continuous negligence of workers' welfare compelled them to consider an indefinite strike as their last option to press home their demands. According to the statement, the leadership of the health workers said they decided to shut down the health sector after a series of efforts to get the attention and endorsement of their demands from the governor, as communicated to him through the Ministry of Health and the Office of the Head of Service. It sounds to me like these professionals, health professionals, have literally exhausted all angle of negotiations. They've used the Ministry of Health to try and reach to the governor. They've written, they've reached out to the press. They've done everything they could to reach out to the governor. Now the question is, why would a sitting governor, somebody like Hope Uzodinma, advocate for this administration and what's not put the well-being of health workers first? I mean, I feel like when it comes to the pillar of needs of every nation, health, education, food security should be at the very topmost of any administration. So what do you have to say to this? And then we know what's going to fall out. We know already our health institutions are understaffed. It has many variables going against it. And now in Imo State, we're seeing an emergent strike, indefinite strike as well. What do you have to say concerning this one?
Well, I'm not from Imo State. I don't reside in Imo State. So I'm not privy to the happenings in Imo State, especially as regards to this sector. But however, I think it's unfortunate that health workers, should be allowed to go on strike. Because like I said, the health sector is a very critical sector. And it's one that deserves utmost attention, bearing in mind that if workers are not active and if they are not performing, it will have a ripple effects, on the society in terms of increase in health services, because the citizens, the people would have to, tilt towards the private sector, right? And of course, it's basic economics. When there's an increase in demand, the price will go up. It's basic economics. So I don't know. I'm not privy to the happenings in Imo State, and I really don't understand why things should be allowed to deteriorate to this level. And I hope the governor of Imo State, I think there's still a bit of time, should call these health workers to order and negotiate with them, so that we don't have a disaster like we did in Anambra State when Peter Obi was governor. Under Peter Obi's tenure as governor, health workers went on strike for 13 months, full 13 months. I mean,
how long ago was Peter Obi in power?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Why? Because you just brought Peter Obi into the equation. We're talking about Imo State. You did say that you don't know what's happening in Imo State. So the focal point is, why are we bringing Peter Obi into this conversation? What has it got to do with Peter Obi?
Let me speak now. The focal point is administrators, state administrators, government administrators, people in charge of the system, allowing health workers to go on strike.
Yes, and I'm giving an analogy. I'm giving an analogy. Other places too. The impact. FCT has also seen the same issue.
The impact where
if I'm not mistaken,
the longest one is 13 months.
It is okay. The longest you know.
The longest one is 13 months.
Yes, but whether it's 1 month, whether it's 1 day, 1 hour or not, these professionals are very much needed in Nigeria. These health professionals are
what I'm saying now. And the longer they stay, the more disastrous it will be. And that is why I'm making reference to the administration of Peter Obi.
But you allowed them
now to do that now. So Hope Uzodinma not a governor. We should not be economical with the truth. Hope Uzodinma is a governor. Peter Obi was a governor when the health workers, went on strike.
That's what
I am saying now. We should learn from history. I'm trying to ensure that Hope Uzodinma should not follow the footsteps of Peter Obi, who allowed health workers to go on strike for about 13 months, and it caused it had disastrous effects on the economy and the people of Anambra State, because the big pressure on the private sector, which of course led to the increase in the price of goods and services as regards to the health sector. Drugs went on the high side. Treats mentioned on the high side, and I'm trying to speak to the public. Hopefully the governor of Imo State, is hearing me, and I'm trying to tell him that he should learn from history. He should study the antecedents of his predecessors, both in Imo State and outside Imo State, and try to ensure that he does not allow this situation deteriorate to the period of over a year. Even for 1 minute, you shouldn't let it deteriorate and get to the extent where it got to in the case of Peter Obi, that is 13 months, and it caused havoc on the economy. That's what I'm saying. Okay,
I mean, one would have thought that if you're going to make such create such scenarios, you would use recent data. I mean, recently, as early as last year, this year, we've seen health workers going on strike in some parts of the state, so including the FCT. I'm actually surprised you didn't use that as a reference, but anyway, let's move on. Management of the Ibn Don Education Center has confirmed the viral video showing 2 students bullying a fellow student with obvious physical assault and injuries to the victim, saying the 2 students in the assault case have been expelled from the school. Meanwhile, the police public relations officer of Edo State Police Command, Eno Okodem, urged the victim and his parents to come forward and lay a formal complaint so that an investigation can commence into the matter. A statement by the management of the school said they were aware of a video currently circulating online showing a serious incident of bullying and physical assault involving students at the school. I mean, I think I'm quite particular about this story, and I'm sure you will too, as an educationist yourself, Oji. Bullying in our schools, it's become something else. It's become something else. Do you think that over the years it's gotten worse, or do you think it's just a normal norm in boarding secondary schools in Nigeria? And what can be done about it? I mean, the physical, the mental well-being of these students, what can be done about it?
Well, first of all, let's get something clear. Bullying is not just restricted in schools. Both day schools, right? Students get bullied as well. It's almost like it's a culture, in our school system, and it's bad. It's really bad, and it affects both genders anyway. But those of them that happens within the male sector, it's not really spoken about a lot, because hey, everybody tells you have to be a man, you have to man up and all that. And what those of them that were bullied do is that they wait till a time when they can be able to, when they will have the opportunity, to do something similar to what was done to them, and then they take their pound of flesh and passing on the trauma to a new set of students, who in turn pass on the trauma to. So it goes on and on and on and on. I think the cycle has to stop. And the only way the cycle can stop is for the teachers to be more attentive to the needs of the children, to be able to monitor the situation appropriately to ensure that things like this does not, go up. Because the teachers serve as guardians of the students while they are in schools, and as such they should be able to ensure that they put an eagle eye, on the activities of the students. And I think that should, go a long way in ensuring that these bullish activities are nipped in the bud. Another thing I would have to say is that parents should encourage their children to speak out, because it's bullying has taken to be a norm. As an educationist, someone who's in the field, I know, and someone that is bullied wouldn't like to speak out that he has been bullied, except in very rare situations. That's when you see the person being bullied to speak out. So I think that the parents should be able to get closer to their children and encourage them that they should be able to speak out when things like this occur.
Okay. Now, I like the fact that you touched on the message, or the fact that this is a culture in schools.
I said it's almost becoming a culture.
Okay, it's almost becoming a culture. And I also like the fact that you had to clarify that it's not just boarding schools, it's just like every school or secondary school is known or prone to that. But in recent times, we've seen in the past, let's just say in the past 2-3 years, we've seen different stories. Some of these students have even lost their lives. Let's talk about Sylvester, that lost their lives. And some are prominent schools, good schools. It's not even, okay, I don't want to do compare, but they are good schools, prominent schools, where these bullying activities take place there. What can be done about, among the children? I do understand that they may want to pass on the trauma they had faced when they first came into the school. But as an educationist, what can be done? What can the parents do to educate their children, not to bully other children? What can the teachers do as well? And what can we do as a society to ensure that this almost becoming a culture of bullying stops in our schools? Because, look, let's not even start with the mental turmoil that these students will face and how they can even carry it out of the schools to the society. These are individuals that will grow up to one day, hold important offices and positions in society. So what can be done about it?
Tony, first of all, from your statements, you're implying that bullying is on the high rise.
It is on the high rise. I mean, we don't talk about it enough. We don't even hear enough. But Sammy, look, this is not something to debate about.
So let me tell you now.
Even as of last year, I personally saw 3 stories.
Would you allow me speak?
So please, okay, I'll let you speak, but please, let's not debate on the fact that it's on the rise.
I'm not debating, I'm not sugarcoating anything.
Okay.
What I'm trying to tell you that in my days, it was worse. In my days as a student in Nigerian schools, it was worse. Right? I know my friends, who experience things like this. So you saying it's on the high rise. It's not on the high. It has always been. In fact, I don't think it was worse than this. The reason why it seems like it's now a topic for conversation in the public space because of social media. Right? These things were like a culture. If you sit down with the average Nigerian youth who is done with secondary schools, primary secondary schools, right? And you ask about this bullying and everything. You have siblings that schooled in Nigeria. If you sit down and ask them, they will tell you things. They will tell you things that was done to them. Some of them might be open enough to tell you things that they did to other people. Do you understand me? So it's like I said, it's something that has taken, unfortunately, that's taken strong roots, in the educational culture of our students, or in our schools rather. And I think that, like I said, and I'll say again, I think that one of the ways we can curb it, or the two most functional ways we can be able to curb it, is by one, the staffs paying extra attention to the relationship that the students have amongst themselves, right? And also the parents getting more close to their students, to their children, and creating an environment for the children to to speak up to them, in time when such things like this, take place or about taking place. Because bullying, most times bullying doesn't just start. There are signs, there are signals, right? So these signals should be communicated by the people or by the students that would be bullied, either to their teachers or to their parents, and the both parties, the parents and the teachers, take the necessary steps to prevent the bullying before it occurs. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay, and would you agree that we should have stricter laws concerning bullying in Nigeria, having our security operatives get involved in this kind of situation? Because more often than not, it's the school administration that will take charge of the problem, unless in a situation where the bullying had led to the death of an individual or a student. But before we get to that point where a child tragically loses their life, should it become a criminal offense if you bully your mate in school, especially when it involves assault in this case?
Well, first of all, it's already a criminal offense.
But I mean, should we apply it, heavily apply it?
Assault, to me, assault is a very heavy offense in the Nigerian criminal system. The problem is that parents just leave it to the school management to handle. They don't take it outside the school. If they take it outside the school, the security operatives will act accordingly. There has to be a complainant for there to be a case. So when there's no complainant, there's no case. So you don't really have to blame the security operatives or the Nigerian law system, for that. You have to look at the attitude of the parents. They just, they've expelled the students, they've been punished and all that. Okay, let's just let it go. Let's leave it at the school level, right? But if they take it to the police operatives, the security operatives are bound by law. It's not even a matter of question. They are bound by law to take necessary steps to persecute, to arrest and persecute whosoever committed the crime of bullying, because it's assault.
Yes.
It's assault, right? It's assault, and it will be treated as such. If the person is not old enough to be tried sentenced to prison or whatnot, we have juvenile homes where the person will be sent to. You understand? But the problem, like I said, is that the parents of the kids do not take up the matter beyond the school.
So that's what I'm saying. Would you now advise parents to take such matters beyond school? Because most of the time we leave it in the hands of these institutions who, I do not blame them.
The best they can do is to expel and suspend.
Yes, but after that, then they let the case go. But should there be a continuous criminal prosecution of these individuals involved? Don't you think it will also go a long way to deter some of the students from getting involved?
That's what I'm saying now. The people responsible for pushing the matter to a logical conclusion as regards the criminal charges and all that is the complainants, who should be the parents or guardians of the child. I don't think the school has a local standee, to be able to do that. I don't think the school has a local standee. The people with the locals are the parents or guardians of the child, and most often than not, they do not pursue these issues beyond the school setting.
Okay.
Right? They usually leave it to the auspices of the school punishment, and once the school hands out the punishment, they leave it at that. You understand? And what's the best the school can do? Expulsion or suspension. That's literally the best the school can do. The school cannot go beyond that. The school does not have the capacity to arrest the student. The people with the capacity to arrest and persecute are the security operatives, which the parents should report to. So I think we should encourage our parents to be able to do that, and I think that once it is done widely enough and consistently enough, other persons it should serve as a deterrent to other students who would want to bully their juniors or their peers.
Okay. Moving on. President Bola Tinubu has urged media executives to extend the same level of scrutiny they apply to his administration to states and local governments, which he argued now enjoy greater financial autonomy under his reformed federalism. The president made the appeal on Friday night while hosting media proprietors and executives at Aso Rock Presidential Villa. The 30 states had historically struggled with salary payments, with many resorting to bailouts and loans from the federal government to meet wage obligations, particularly during periods of low oil revenue and economic downturns. The Tinubu administration said it had increased allocations to state and local governments through higher crude oil production, improved revenue collection by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, now the National Revenue Service, and direct payment of local government allocations following a Supreme Court judgment in July 2024 that granted fiscal autonomy. Tinubu thanked media proprietors for their relentless criticism, which he said challenged him to perform better despite the harsh commentary during his early days in office. It's without saying that due to, especially the local government's fiscal autonomy, that these arms of government should be held responsible for, some of the activities that they're meant to do instead of always blaming the federal government. But unfortunately in Nigeria, everything goes straight to the federal government. Every blame is on the federal government. Sami, do you agree with the president's statement that he should not be the only one being scrutinized, but our local government and then state governments should also be scrutinized as well and held responsible for some of the lack in the state and local government areas?
Well, you see, Tonya, before I proceed, let me commend the leadership of His Excellency Bola Tinubu. Like he rightly said, he faced harsh criticisms during his early days in office, but he was undeterred in ensuring that he revamps the economy and provide the basic necessities for the Nigerian people. It's not easy. It's not easy because I'm a Nigerian. I stay in Nigeria. I work and do business in Nigeria. I live in Nigeria, and I saw firsthand the amount of criticism the amount of criticism is putting it mildly. Criticism is putting it mildly. I suppose that the amount of insults and abuses that was rained on him by people that did not understand, the scope of what he was trying to achieve. I saw it, we all saw it. You saw it as well. And you could see that despite, whatever was thrown in his way, he stood firm to ensure that Nigeria gets to where we are now. And I have no doubt that as a country, under his visionary leadership, we will indeed get to the promised land and, get to the Nigerian that we all dream of. He's very correct. Local governments and state governments should be held accountable. Tonya, the revenue gotten from the federal government to the states has tripled. Some has even quadrupled, right?
Are you not exaggerating a little bit?
You can look it up now. We're
exaggerating a little bit.
Like I said, I didn't say double. I said it has tripled, and anybody that is listening to me can look it up to confirm. I'm not saying things I don't know. This is fact. These are facts. It has tripled, and in some states it has quadrupled, right? And that is why you see that some well-meaning governors are using it to, increase the capacity of what they are doing. Look at Sanwo-Olu. He's a performer. He has been trying his best. Where is he getting the money from? Beyond Lagos internal generated revenue. Okay, let's leave Lagos. Lagos is running as a country, and it has been proven that Lagos can function without revenue from the federal government, which was done when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was governor, when he had conflicts in ideologies with the then president Obasanjo, who withheld his allocation for 4 months, and yet he still survived. The state still thrived on local government internal generated revenue. Let's look at Abia State. Abia State was owing salaries, lead infrastructure. It was a state owned for owing salaries. In fact, you don't just go to work as a civil servant and expect to get salary at the end of the month. They'll owe you and owe you and owe you and owe you and owe you. But today is a thing of the past. OT is coming, he has paid salaries, he has even cleared some backlogs, and he's trying to ensure that he enacts policies to better the lives of the people. Where is he getting the money from? The federal government. The reason he has the capacity to do all these things is the increase in revenue by the federal government, which he himself has accepted. So regardless of the fact that some governors are still acting untoward and refusing to perform optimally despite the increase in revenue being allocated to them, you could see that those that really want to work now have the necessary tools to work. But in all, at least one thing we can agree on is that the payment of salaries, the owing of salaries is not a thing of the past in Nigeria. This was something that was common in states. We had our social state. In fact, Rauf Agbesola, I don't know if you know him, former Minister of Interior and former governor, was it Oshun or Ondo State. When he was a governor, he was making half payments. For example, he was supposed to earn 100,000. I don't know, the month they give 50,000 and the state owes you 50,000 there. He's part of those of them in the ADC now shouting for whatever they're shouting for, but that's not my business anyway. But I'm not going to tell you how bad it was. Right? I'm trying to tell you how bad it was before the Jagaban stepped in and fixed the system. And it should be commended, and other members of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because he's just one man. He just has one office, and despite his job is to supersede all other offices, the other people needs to be up to their toe in ensuring that they provide the necessary basic equipment needed for the mass anticipated. And some of them are dragging their feet, and that's not funny at all. So yeah, he was writing a statement that he is not saying don't criticize me. You've been criticizing me, keep on criticizing me. Why you're criticizing me? Just know that there are other places where, if they are functioning as optimally as they should have, we will be better. And that is the state government and local government. Like you rightly said, he has done his best to ensure that local governments be granted financial autonomy. And it should be expected that they should do that to better the lives of the people. But we can count, if you look at the local governments around us, even here in River State, we can count how many local governments are doing their best to ensure that they better the lives of their people. Some of them, we were there the other day, you saw how ever since local government autonomy came into place, wives of local government chairmen, went on a leadership training in Dubai. And we still know the outcome of the leadership training. We still don't know the outcome of the leadership. Okay, they went to Dubai, they are back from the leadership training. How has the leadership impacted on the lives of people of that local government. We don't know till today. So you can see how some persons are just inventive in mismanaging the resources of the people, despite the president's best efforts. So let me assure the president that Nigerians, we have eyes, and despite the unreasonability of some of us, most of us, have eyes, we have ears, we can see, we can hear, we can see what he's doing, we have heard what he's done. And the good thing about it is that ever since he has been making claims of increasing allocation to states, local government autonomy, nobody has come out to deny it. Even the opposition, those of them in the opposition, those of them siding with the opposition, those of them in the PDP, those of them in the ADC, none of them has come out to deny it. So that means the president is saying the truth. He has increased the resources that are given to these people. And you see some of them wailing, gnashing their teeth and making outrageous claims against a man who has nothing but the interests of the people at heart. But like I said, let me for emphasis, Nigerians see him, Nigerians hear him. And despite, again, the unreasonability of some of us, I'm quite confident that the majority of Nigerians will work together with him, will support him to ensure that he continues on the progress he has made.
All right, it looks like you're a very big fan of City Boy, our dear president, Asiwaju. But away from that, you seem to be a big fan of him.
Let me correct an impression.
Are you not?
Let me correct an impression.
You're not a big fan?
Please, no, you don't put words into my mouth.
Yes or no?
Let me correct an impression, please.
It's either a yes or a no.
It's a yes or a no answer.
Okay.
You don't just have a big fan and you expect a yes or a no answer.
I mean,
I'm a Nigerian. I see what's happening. Right?
And you appreciate him for all that he's doing for the nation.
He's our president, come on.
I know he's our, I'm not.
He's the best performing president we've had in recent times.
And so you admire him?
What do you mean I admire him?
Okay.
So if someone is performing, don't you tell him he's performing?
Yes, and then you admire him in the process.
If someone is performing, you tell him that you're performing. Don't be smart with me and try to make it seem like
smart. I mean, it's
you're being smart and you're trying to make it seem like
in all of our conversation, you've been stressing on the fact that he's doing so well. I'm not taking it away. I'm not taking it away that
when I say he's doing so well,
Sammy, can I finish?
When I say he's doing well, I present facts to back it up.
Yes.
If I am telling lies, it's fair to tell me that, oh, Sammy, you're wrong.
But I'm just asking, are you a big fan of the president?
Listen now.
If
I'm telling lies, you tell me that Sammy, you're wrong. So if I'm here to analyze, I'm a public analyst. I was invited to this.
But it doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem like that because you hit it at the opposition. If you had just kept it at the president has provided this, and so yes, we should hold these executives also accountable for the lack of progress, whatever. I can understand that. Okay, but you go further, not just that, you also admonish the opposition, and then you claim that no opposition has come out to, say what he's doing is not true, what he's saying is not true in terms of the allocation that has been given. So I'm just saying, if it's not political, you just analyze and then can we stick to the analysis and then let's not seem like you're a big fan of the administration.
No, listen, Toda. What I did was prove, right, that the facts I stated were correct.
Okay.
And if they were wrong, I said that people in the opposition would have countered these facts.
Okay.
But they will not counter them, meaning that the facts are very, very much true. And I gave example. No, you said something, so I should respond. And I gave an example of people that are currently in the opposition and their attitude towards government when they were in power. You understand me? Give you a comparative analysis of what was before Asiwaju came in. And what is
I mean, you could not have just stuck to the facts without, hitting at the opposition. That means that you are in a group and then you have an opposition. If you're a spectator, you will have just stated the facts without trying to bring in
there's a government and there are people opposing the government. What do you mean? There's a government and there are people that are opposing the government.
Okay, a neutral person who is saying how certain people are opposed to the good works of these governments.
Don't put words into my mouth. Sorry.
I'm asking
don't try to be smart with me.
I'm asking
There's a government and there are people opposing the government. I didn't give them the name opposition. They gave themselves opposition.
Okay.
And in life, you are called what you wish to be called.
Okay.
They call themselves opposition. I am calling them opposition because that's what they call themselves. If they come out tomorrow and they call themselves whatever, a new name, whatever, I will call them that name.
Can we move on? You're welcome. Right, now let's take it back to, let's start with the state government. Yes, the local governments have been given fiscal autonomy, but some state governments are not allowing this local government chairman or local government to get access or have access to this funding. They're still intercepting. You know, how then do we balance the equation? How then would the vision of this administration come to pass? I mean, the reason why, like the president stated, the reason why he gave them fiscal autonomy is so that dividends of democracy can reach the people at the grassroots. He had a vision, he has a plan, and for this vision to come into, to come through, the plan needs to be followed. So in situations whereby the state governments are still intercepting funds meant for local governments, what can be done towards it?
Well, Donna, before I proceed, something funny just happened right now. I don't know if you noticed it.
What happened?
What happened was that you sounded like a fan of the president. I mean, you're talking about his vision, you're talking about...
Sammy, I'm a journalist doing my job. I'm trying to analyze the story. He stated he has given autonomy to the local government. I mean, that's a plan and a vision because, according to him, like I said, political. This one. I will not let you sit here and then campaign for the administration. That is what I'm not going to allow you to do. Can we stick to the facts? My question is this, Sammy. My question is this. Okay. In states where the local governments are not allowed to access their funds, what can be done about it? What should be done about it?
Well, Tonya, first of all, let me thank you for commending the good vision of Mr. President.
Here we go again.
Let me finish.
You're such a good big fan. I mean, just come out and say, you're a big fan. Come out and say a big fan, but do not hide.
Listen. You know what? I'm on your hats. It says public analyst. I don't know if you can see it.
I can't see it. So what I'm seeing here is APC advocates.
Wow.
Yes.
No.
I'm seeing APC advocates.
You're way above.
Okay.
Please don't do that.
Okay.
What he says is public analyst.
Okay.
Regardless of whatever, what he says public analyst. So if I'm here in this table, in this studio, it is my duty, it is my responsibility to analyze issues independently, and factually. And that is why anytime I speak, I like making reference to something to show that what I'm saying is the truth, and I don't just speak out of turn, or I don't just say things out of the figment of my imagination. What I speak the facts, and that is why I make reference to events that are relatable to the public. So when I make a comparative analysis and I don't inference from events that are general knowledge to the public, it doesn't mean that I'm hitting the opposition. It doesn't mean. If I was doing that, then that means I would have been making up stories that are not true. But what I said is facts.
To the question I asked.
I'm trying to explain myself.
Your words are self-explanatory. Your words are self-explanatory. I mean, anybody watching you can actually know can tell from your words
that I'm a public analyst.
Exactly.
And I'm an objective public analyst.
Okay, so can we stick to the facts?
Yes. Let us stick to the facts. You see, this Jagaban of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has done his best to ensure government autonomy. Why are you laughing, Tolia? I don't like you. Has done his best to ensure local government autonomy. And you can see in the way by which he mandated the AGF to take the state governors to the Supreme Court, whereby a judgment was passed against them. And even politically, you can see how he's strong-arming people who are members of his party to ensure that local government autonomy is being implemented. And I can tell you that for most states, I'm not sure about all states, for most states you can see that the autonomy is being implemented, and with some governors, I don't know and I can't confirm this information, but since you posed the question, then I'm assuming you have your facts that some states have not implemented it. And then, like I usually tell people, governance is continuity. And when changes are made to, when new policies are introduced, you could see that despite its best interest, that people will resist it, right? And that is what's going on. Any new policy that gets introduced, there are some sort of elements that people who like the old way of doing things and who try to they can to reduce and to what are they calling it, to resist it, right? So what happens, or the best way to ensure that this local government autonomy achieves the totality, of its intentions, or the intentions of the president, is to ensure that they continue to support the president, give him more time to be able to, ensure that everybody complies with the directive, of the Supreme Court. That's it. There are loopholes that some state governors, like I said, I don't know how many state governors have not implemented local government autonomy. I don't have that information. I'm saying it might be true because I'm sure you have your facts. I'm being very clear. I don't know how many states have implemented local government autonomy. I'm saying that. I don't know how many states have not.
Less are implementing it, and less are like fully implementing it, and even more are kind of like still intercepting.
Still intercepting?
Yes.
Okay,
we have Enugu State, we have Zamfara, we have Oyo, Osun. A few states, I can keep going on.
Are implementing or are resisting?
They are resisting.
Wait, a few states are resisting, or
most states are resisting. It's just a few that have fully embraced the
How many have implemented it? How many have resisted?
We'll go into your file. I just mentioned a few states that are not implementing it. Osun State, Zamfara State, Oyo State, Enugu State. They are not implementing these.
I don't think the information is correct. I don't think the information is correct.
Okay.
Because Lagos State. No, I don't think the information is correct.
You don't think that? I didn't mention Lagos State. I said these are the states that are not. So do you know the states that are fully implementing it?
What I'm saying.
You say you did not know, and I'm giving you the fact, but you say you did not think. So my facts are.
You're not being specific with your facts.
I'm being specific. I just mentioned the states that are not fully implementing it.
How many states have implemented? How many states have not implemented?
Go and do your research.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I answered the question, but it sounds like you're trying to divert, and I'm not playing that game with you today. So let's get to the facts. Some states are still resisting the implementation of the local government autonomy.
But we're using the word some, and I think the best
more so than others.
No, I disagree with you.
Okay, obviously you dispute that. I understand you disputing it.
I dispute that, and like I said, what we can do as a people, because I'm sure that you are asking in the perspective of Nigerians, aren't you? What can Nigerians do? Is that what you're asking? I told you, it can be quite funny sometimes. So, well, in the perspective of Nigerians, what Nigerians can do is support the president, give him more time to ensure that he puts more pressure on the states to implement the totality of local government autonomy.
But when you say give the president more time, how much time does he need? Because come 2027, we're hitting the polls again. We're hitting the polls come 2027. So how much time does he need to implement these policies? I mean, it's like I said, having a good policy is good on paper, but was there not supposed to be a plan in place to ensure that these policies are well implemented?
Well,
wait, let me finish. Let me finish. Okay, if you have a vision for the people, which is a very good vision, and you have policies in place to ensure this vision comes into fruition, what you're supposed to do also is that to have also certain policies in place to ensure that this vision is implemented, right? Fully. So, what is this administration? He said we should give him more time. I don't know how much time he needs, because come 2027, we're hitting the polls again, and he may or may not come back into power. So, this is the best time for him to have utilized the trust that people had placed in him. Some of the people have placed in him, heavily placed in him, and ensure that the people's needs are met.
Can I speak now?
Please go ahead.
Well, you see, Tonya, I like the fact that you said some states have implemented it, and the implementation of the policy is in process. I mean, you admitted that by your statement. So,
I admitted what by my statement?
That the implementation of the policy is in process.
In the process. Is that what I said?
You say some states have implemented it now.
And why are you hinting on? I'm hinting on the states that are not implementing it.
Look,
listen.
If some states have implemented local government autonomy, then that means the implementation of local government autonomy is the process. Like I said earlier, hold on now.
That's not raising your voice. The question is, I asked a question. When giving a policies, there should be a way to ensure that these policies are being implemented.
Good.
So what is this administration doing to ensure that those states that are not implementing the local government's fiscal autonomy are implementing it? Simple as that.
Well, first of all, you seem to forget that the federal government took these guys to court, and in judgment was meted out against these governors.
Okay.
You also seem to forget that the president, despite talking to them administratively as a president to governors or what have you, have also mounted political pressure on them, especially those governors that are members of his party. They had an APC meeting, right? An APC meeting, a leadership APC meeting, where they were supposed to talk about the affairs of the party. But the president came and hammered, I repeat, hammered on local government autonomy and directing and putting pressure on the APC governors, which of course the APC, we all know, has the highest number of governors in Nigeria right now, hammering on those governors to implement local government autonomy fully in their states. And that's why I said that I'm not sure the
so basically it's a case of we can force the house to the stream, but
if you keep on interrupting me, then there's no need for us to have a conversation.
I mean, I'm listening to you.
You keep on interrupting me.
I don't want you to forget your word. Don't just forget your word.
You're going to put words in my mouth, creating parables that are not even related to what I'm talking about.
Okay.
What do you have of the house going to who's the house here? Am I the host? Are you the host? What does house have to do with anything we are talking about?
You said by the house, I mean you said that the APC having the highest
number
of governors.
So the APC is the house.
Let me finish. That's all I'm coming from.
Is the APC the house? Is that what you're referring to? No, not because it's the house. Is the APC the house?
No.
So like I said, you can see that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has taken strict steps to ensure that local government autonomy is being implemented fully. And without a shadow of that, there will be resistance, like I keep on telling you, because change is a new thing. Most people resist change. Even your life, there's some new habits you want to form. It will take a time for you to get, for you to be able to, get used to having those habits. The older you keep on resisting it, then all is happening. And the best way, like I said, the best way to ensure the totality of its implementation is time. And that is why, like I said, I call on well-meaning Nigerians to support His Excellency Ahmed Bola Tinubu and give him one time to be able to implement. What do you mean that? Implement local government autonomy in its totality.
When you were speaking, what I wanted you to say is this.
No, you can't say you want to be to say something.
No, you're giving out your facts. No, you're mentioning facts, right? But this is it. You're asking, what do I mean by the horse? You said the president, APC having the highest number of governors, which is good, because then that means that they should be able to influence these governors to allow this local government to open their own banks, like their own local government.
But that's what they're doing now.
Are they doing that?
Most of the governors who have implemented local
government. Can you just give me two of these governments?
Most of the governments who have implemented local government autonomy are members of most of the governors who have ensured that local government implementation is taking place are members of the APC.
And how do you back this up?
Give me the
No, you don't want to answer the question. No, I'm not aware.
You just give me an answer.
You school me. You don't want to school me.
I asked you a question, you give me an answer. So this is me playing back.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Moving on. APC slams ADC, All Progressives Congress, has criticized the African Democratic Congress ADC, accusing the party of misleading Nigerians in a deceptive manner. This criticism follows the ADC's recent remarks regarding the poverty rate in the nation, asserting that it is a widely accepted view that the fuel subsidy and foreign exchange systems, as they were managed before May 29, 2023, pose a significant threat to the economic survival of the country. The APC maintained that the removal or substantial reform of these systems has been a long-standing item on the national agenda. However, previous administrations failed to demonstrate the political resolve necessary to implement such changes, primarily due to fears of the temporary economic difficulties that these reforms would inevitably bring upon Nigerians. In a statement issued by Felix Moka, the National Publicity Secretary, the APC noted that President Bola Tinubu declared determination of the fuel subsidy upon his inauguration and subsequently unified the various foreign exchange system. Now, nobody is saying that these reforms are not necessary, but what the people are clamoring for is that as we are given these reforms, or as we are reforming, our policies, what are the effects or the cushions put in place to ensure that whatever economic hardship the people are facing will not be too much? Yes, it's necessary, right? But these political leaders, are they even feeling half of what the people are feeling at the end of the day? They bring in the policies for removal, what's not. I am feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the brunt of it. I'm sure you are feeling it too. Although I don't know if you'll be truthful about it. Maybe you're not feeling it, okay? But I'm feeling it. The people are feeling it.
Are you calling me a liar?
I didn't call you a liar.
You said you don't know if you'll be truthful about it.
I said you are.
It's not a question of my. I don't understand.
Okay, I apologize. I take it back. I take it back.
Wow.
Can we continue?
I'm listening.
Okay. Now, good policies are good for the people. Yes, sometimes it comes with some difficulties. But the question is this. As we're making these policies, is it not possible to ensure that the economic hardship or the harsh realities of these policies does not heavily affect the people in a negative form?
Can I speak?
If you want to.
It's good to use the word if I want to, because this has to do with ADC and APC, and this conversation has to do directly with the party in power and the opposition. So can I speak and you make it seem like I'm supporting?
As long as your voice does not seem like you're campaigning for this administration.
That is
because I do not. Okay. Let me ask a question. When you say the people should give this administration more time, what do you mean by that? Because I asked you that, okay, if you've asked for more time, we already a couple of months away from the next election. So when you say more time, how much more time does this administration need before the coming election? Because they may or may not win.
Are you trying to put words into my mouth?
I'm asking a question.
I said Nigeria should give them more time.
I'm asking, but when you say, what do you mean by that? I think the people want clarification on that.
I've not told you. You don't think to ask me. What do you mean by that?
No problem. Go answer the question I've asked.
You're going to ask me what I meant by that. I've said what I said, and I'm sure Nigerians understand me, because Nigerians are very intelligent and smart people, and they've seen what I have seen.
But I didn't understand you.
That's not what I said. If you understand me, fine. If you're acting like you don't understand me, it's also good.
Okay.
But that's by the way. Let me come back to my question. Can I answer without you holding a stick over my head and accusing me?
I will not interrupt. Go ahead and answer.
Accusing me of supporting the party in power. Can I answer?
Please go ahead.
Okay, well, you see, Tonya, in life, little in life unfolds as we predict. But nevertheless, there are indicators of futuristic events, and which, if you're a reasonable and thoughtful person, you can be able to understand the indicators and, of course, get the prognosis of what's going to happen, in the nearest future. Let's face it. First subsidy, the subsidization of the dollar was killing the economy of Nigerians, and it had to be done. It was not a matter of opinion. It was not a matter of should we do it or should we not do it. It was a necessity. It was a necessity, because if we hadn't done it, the Nigerian economy would have collapsed in its totality. And there's no way you can say you want to circumvent it, you want to do it partially or whatnot. It had to be removed fully, because even if you're keeping it partially, you're still giving those people who are benefiting from the activities of subsidy resources, while giving them more time to regroup. So what was done by the president was the only way out to save the economy of Nigeria. And yes, we have experienced hardship. We have experienced inconveniences as a result of the decision of Mr. President, no doubt. The question you asked me, regardless of what the ADC people are saying, was what has the Nigerian president done, or what has this government done to cushion the effects of subsidy removal? That's what you asked me, maybe. To
cushion the effect of hardship, not just subsidy removal. I mean, lots of policies have brought some kind of hardship to the people. So what are some of the cushions put in place to ensure that, the hardship is well mitigated?
Okay.
Yeah.
Increase allocation to the state government, local government autonomy, mail fund, credit card, super. Should I go on?
Please go ahead.
There's a free, these guys doing studying in vocational institutes at the secondary level, right? Those guys, these what's the word? These vocational schools, right? Where you're going and you learn crafts and all that. It's free.
Okay.
Nobody pays anything in those universities, and in fact, once you go there, they give you upkeep every month. Because if you look at it, people who attend those schools are people that are children of the people that are the most vulnerable in our societies. Craft center here and all that. You can see, if you look at if you study the background of these people, but an astrologer has declared that their fees is gone. They should go to school free. They should learn their craft and contribute meaningfully to the society.
Okay.
So these are questions that beyond, and there's some I don't even know. There's some I don't even know, which I'm sure are happening. In fact, there's some that in the next 5 minutes I might remember. So these are the questions that the federal government has placed, to ensure that they mitigate, whatever effects the people are seeing, or receiving from the impact of subsidy removal. And to me, the master stroke is nail fund. Nail fund because it encapsulates, a whole sector of the Nigerian populace. It gives. It's like anytime I come here, I talk about nail fund. Well, maybe because I'm an educationist anyway, so it's directly, it's something that it's my purview, and I see directly. And I can tell you for free that the impact of nail fund is so significant that it has affected the lives of so many children of the populace. I'm not saying, like I said if I'm here for like 5 minutes, I'll remember more. The end of the ASUU strike that has seen the end or the cessation of ASUU strike. Are you aware? No, it seems like you're not aware. Are you aware?
Serious?
Are you aware? The finances he got to fund the agreement to ensure that he assuages or satisfies the needs of ASUU members was gotten from subsidy removal. Are you aware? No, don't out shocked. If you're not aware, let me know so that I can inform you.
Oh, I'm not. Please educate me. I told you to school me. Right?
I was being sarcastic.
I'm not.
See that. I mean, imagine since 1993, I stand to be corrected anyway. Since 1993, there's never been a year in the academic calendar of Nigeria where we don't have ASUU strike.
Okay.
This is the first time in straight 4 years that people are going to school without the fear of ASUU strike.
All right.
In fact, it was so bad that around 2022, 2021, the strike was so bad that they had to merge, some federal universities had to merge 2 year ones together, right? Like year ones of different way, how to merge them together into a single class just so they can be able to go. Because see how terrible the situation was. But under the leadership, the visionary leadership of His Excellency Asoja Ahmed Bola Tinubu, you can see that it has cost, well, I have told you, if you don't like me appreciating our president for what he has done, I don't understand why you'd have a problem with it.
Did I say I have a problem with it?
No, what was he makes now when I try to appreciate the president for what he makes snide comments.
Do you know it's not making snide comments? It's the fact that
do you have a problem? Okay,
I don't have a problem with administration. I don't have a problem with administration. I don't have a problem.
If you say my comments, appreciating and encouraging the federal government as a patriot, which I am, because I'm a patriot.
A patriot of who?
I'm a patriot. Of this country, I love my country, Tony. I love my country. I love my country with everything in me, with my blood, with my strength. I love my country, and I will do anything.
You love the administration.
That's what I said. I said I love my country.
Time is up.
I said I love my country. That's what I said. So, Tony, like I said, if you're not a fan of this administration, you're not a fan of the president, if you're against it, you should come out to your full chest and say it so that we all be aware.
Sammy, you can you'll not sit on my set and try to twist my conversation. Listen,
I want to comment on the fact. Time is up. Then you I mean, come on now.
Sammy, I'm not against.
It's demoralizing.
It's demoralizing. The fact that I want for you to stick to the fact of the.
That is the fact. I'm sticking to the fact. I'm not campaigning. I am not campaigning.
Political
party. The facts of the conversation.
I'm not a person who loves Nigeria. I'm not part of the political party. I'm here to do my job and ask relevant questions, and I will appreciate it if you can answer those questions without making certain campaigning remarks.
I'm not making campaigning
administration.
I am supporting
that's what it looks like.
The development and the success of my country. That is not campaigning to anybody.
On a good job done.
And I'm commending whosoever is in charge of piloting the affairs of the country that is producing such excellent results. That is not campaigning for anybody. You sit here and you criticize people. Are you against them? You make criticism remarks now on certain government officials and all that. Are you against them? Are you fighting them? No, now let's be clear now. Is that what you're doing?
Like I said,
what you're doing?
This is where we wrap it up on this episode of Atn Sunday.